Hey guys, what's up? This is Tom Nash, and on the screen right now you have a clip I'm about to play you by Mohamed El-Erian, and he just said the Fed should keep focused on inflation even with the economy weakening really fast. Now, it sounds like a boring economic discussion, but trust me, this is critical stuff. This is literally do or die for the economy, and the choice he's talking about is not trivial. In fact, making the wrong choice is literally going to be like cutting the wrong wire in one of the MacGyver movies. It can lead to a disaster. So I'm going to actually take what he said here and strip away all this corporate talk and caveats and being careful. I'm going to tell you exactly what he means, because what he just said is mind-blowingly important. So first of all, let's play the clip and then I'll tell you what I think he meant.
Which does it choose?
So I think we are back in that world where every number is going to matter. And there's quite a few numbers before the Fed meets again in September. What's the Fed going to choose? I hope it focuses on getting the inflation genie back into the bottle. Look, I think the worst outcome is that next year we are in recession and inflation has proven very sticky. That is the worst outcome. So I don't think the Fed can take its eye off the ball right now in terms of bringing inflation down. Otherwise, it's going to be a double whammy that's going to be very difficult to get out of.
Oh, hey, Mohamed, did you hear Powell yesterday shut the door on my question about how you react to a recession? He just didn't answer it at all.
Yeah, not just yours, other questions too.
Same thing. We all got shut out on that one.
Okay, so beyond the Jerome Powell criticism, I want to explain to you what he said here. But first of all, let me tell you a story. So when I was a kid, I had a friend in school, and this friend always pleased everybody. He never wanted to get anybody annoyed. He always tried to be okay with every single person. Now, you know what ended up happening? The guy was miserable, he was depressed, he wasn't happy, but mainly it ended up with everybody freaking hating him because he tried so hard to please everybody, he pleased no one. This is exactly what Mr. El-Erian is talking about. Now, we had 2 consecutive quarters of negative GDP. Negative 1.6 in the first quarter, negative 0.9 in the second quarter. Now, we can debate about whether this is a recession, a technical recession, a real recession. It does not matter. Now, look, what matters here is that by definition, we're looking at a slowdown in the economy. Whether you want to call it a recession or a slowdown is absolutely irrelevant. It's an academic discussion I have zero interest in engaging in. Now, if we have a slowdown in the economy, it's definitely coming from inflation. We know it. We've seen it. Look at the Target financials. Look at the Walmart financials. The Walmart financials are literally right here and here, basically telling you the same thing. Look, people are spending less money on things they absolutely do not want to have as far as a necessity, right? They need gasoline, they need shelter, they need food. Everything else is not a priority. So basically Walmart is saying the same thing Target was saying in their financials. Hey, we're going to make shit cheaper. Apparel, electronics are going to be much, much cheaper because otherwise we go out of business. That means our margins are going to go down. That means people will lose their jobs. That means those people will have less money to spend. And it's going to be a snowball effect of basically putting the economy into recession, also collapsing the job market. Now, look, the reason I'm telling you this is because what El-Erian is actually alluding to is that people might use this argument to say, well, look, Tom, or Mohammed in this case, natural decline of the economy due to inflation, which is what we're seeing right now, is going to kill demand. And that is why we absolutely do not have to increase rates and suck the money out of the market. We can just let the recession that's going to happen because inflation is going to hurt the economy, kill demand for us, and just basically sit tight, wait for this to happen, and then problem solved, right? Wrong. This is exactly what Mohamed El-Erian is saying, and I 100% agree with him. It's just he has to be a little bit in corpo talk land. I can actually speak more freely, but this is exactly what he's saying. We absolutely cannot depend on this natural cannibalization of inflation by a recessionary market. It's not going to be enough. Now, we absolutely have to have money sucked out of the system, which means quantitative tightening. And also, I mean, look, he's saying here, and I'm going to say it again, look, interest rates are nowhere near neutral. I think he said it in a different clip. More interest rate hikes is absolutely a must because we're not even close to even neutral, not even talking about offensive. So more hikes, more aggressive approach, even with the economy seemingly putting itself into recession. Now look, what he's saying here, the end clip, listen to the end. The end was super important. He actually said something that should be a major warning to everybody. He said, look, guys, if we do not hit it hard right now, what we're going to end up with is basically a market with massive amount of inflation and a recession. At least let's kill inflation right now before we end up in a stagflationary market. Basically, the job market will be destroyed, recession is going to be rampant, and inflation is going to be high. We're going to go back to the 70s. At least let's make hard decisions right now before it's too late, before the decision-making option is taken away from us. And I 100% agree with him. I think the Fed has to be aggressive despite this slowdown in the economy. And in this case, you can look at all the retail investors right now. They're all looking at the same thing. All these providers like Target, like Walmart, which we covered, they're all talking about the same pain. People aren't spending as much. But if you look at what Mohamed El-Erian is saying, that's not going to be enough to stop inflation. The Fed cannot sit on the fence and just hope that the problem takes care of itself. That's never a good recipe. Let me know below if you agree with him or me. If you disagree, as always, this is not obviously financial advice. I'm not a financial advisor. I'm just here to share my opinion with you, which you can agree or disagree with. In fact, I would love to have a discussion with you in the comment section about what we just talked about, especially if you disagree with me. And, go back to my previous videos. You'll see I enjoy debating with people who don't agree with me. That's fine. Don't be afraid to leave a comment. See you in the next video and have a great weekend.